By the end of the 4th century, the sprawling continent of Europe was dominated by the West and East Roman empires, but beyond their fortified northeastern borders hailed an emerging ethno-linguistic group, the Slavs. Their primitive wooden settlements graced the lowlands and rivers of modern-day Russia. The Slavs enjoyed a free and spiritual lifestyle, valuing kinship and hospitality above all else. They engaged in wild, primitive traditions that the more civilized corners of Europe described only as barbaric and savage. They believed that all objects and animals contained a spiritual essence. Like the ancient Greeks and Normans, they developed their own mythological pantheon, which to this day remains relatively undiscovered, apart from the few shrines found in oaken groves in Russia. The early tribes worshipped Perun, the god of lightning and the skies, and his eternal foe, Veles, the shape-shifting god of animals and the underworld. But above them both, the supreme ruler, Svarog, who was represented by the Kolovrat. It symbolized the cycle of life and the sun, which the Slavs believed granted all power. With the fall of Rome and the Hunnic Empire, a great migration would commence by the 5th century. With groups of Avars, Scythians and Germanic peoples, they flooded much of Eastern Europe. Most remained north of the Danube River, but those who would cross it would change the course of European history forever. The Byzantine Empire began reporting large numbers of Slavic raids in the 550s. The first Slavic chieftain, Dorentius, stated, "Others do not conquer our land, we conquer theirs. So it shall always be for us." Stalwart Slavs of ruddy hair, who were tall and very strong, would lead blitz campaigns into the thick woodlands in the East Roman domain. The 6th century war manual of Emperor Maurice warned, "Slavs are skilled with arms and nimble in tight and wooded areas." Groups of no more than 200 unmounted Slavs would commonly use spears and small shields, which suited their hit-and-run tactics. The late 6th century saw an expansion to Thrace with the Avars, who began to act as their overlords. Along the Eastern Alps, victories against King Tassilo I between 588 and 591 allowed the settlements of Slavs in the Upper Drava, Carinthia and the Kars region. The Slavs would be divided into 3 subcategories: the Sclovani, Antes and Veneti. Due to their enormous population, they quickly overwhelmed their more technologically advanced adversaries. The Avars firmly held superiority over the Slavs. Their mass enslavement would lead to the English word slave being derived from Slav. In 626, the siege of Constantinople by Avar forces, with the help of Slavs in the Sassanid Empire, was crushed by Byzantine forces, causing the political and military power of the Avars to shrink. The Frankish merchant Samo married over 11 Wendish noblewomen to unite a formidable alliance of Slavic tribes in Bohemia. Samo defeated the Franks in the Battle of Vorgastisberg in 631, earning him the title Rex Sclavorum, the Slavic king. Samo's realm ranged from Derven's Sorbian Principality in the north to Cilicia and even Istria. The realm provided a safe haven for the Slavs, allowing the tribes within it to peacefully reside in the sparse and breathtaking landscape of Central Europe. But the only glue binding these disjointed tribes was Samo, meaning that upon his death the realm crumbled. In the Balkans, the Slavs lived an egalitarian culture akin to the ancient Spartans. Their lack of dependence on Byzantine funds created a sustainable system that attracted foreign clans who assimilated into the early Slavic culture and lifestyle. As a stalemate had been reached between the Byzantines, Avars and the Slavs, Sclovani and anti-settlements became more permanent. The Slavs still lived between vastly more advanced civilizations, and while strong in battle, were leaderless and divided. That would be until certain tribal leaders would develop into the first noble lords and dukes of their land. The battle for southern Slavic political dominance had commenced.